Welcome to What If I Wrote WrestleMania, or well, I guess booked WrestleMania 30. This, yes, is like 10 years in hindsight, but I didn't really use hindsight when I did this video. Maybe one match, but all the others I did not. There are 8 matches of this card, like they were originally on the WrestleMania 30 card, because I felt like, I don't want to break the boundary of how many matches they had. One rule, I did break one time in the battle royal on the participants. I think I have like 2 or 3 more participants than they normally did. But other than that, let's start off our show with the pre-show. The pre-show mainly stays the same, but in this timeline, I used a little foresight to have Cody Rhodes snap earlier after being eliminated from the Royal Rumble, and Goldust taking him under his wing. So Goldust and Stardust are a thing. They have defeated Los Matadores and they have defeated Rybaxel, but they could not get the job done in the one-on-one because it's a fatal four-way against the Usos. So this is an elimination match like normal. Rybaxel eliminates Los Matadores. Stardust and Goldust eliminate Rybaxel, and it comes down to an epic match to end the pre-show with the Usos retaining the titles. Now, I want to point this out here since we do have our first change. You're going to have to look out for Dax Swagger and Cesaro because now they have different matches on this card. Cody and Goldust were in the Battle Royal, so let's move on to the opening of our main card. If you were shocked by the change of the Real Americans being replaced in the pre-show match, that you might be shocked to see Batista is against Brock Lesnar, which means two things. The Undertaker has a new opponent, and it is not a triple threat to end the night. Keep in mind that it's not a triple threat match to end the night, but other than that, we should be good. But for this match, Brock had the authority, I guess, to pick whoever he wanted, so he picked Batista. And I think this is suplex. Batista counters, which like slides out the back of the F5s and spears, and then a spine buster, and goes from that Batista bomb and counter it into an F5. Brock Lesnar still wins the match, and Paul Heyman is kind of shocked for that reason. But I don't know what the dealio is. Like why is he so shocked? Because he did break the streak. Brock, I would say, ends up in the same timeline where he beats John Cena at SummerSlam. So we'll talk about things as they go on, but now it's time for match two, and match two is an interesting one. So we got this at the Elimination Chamber, but I decided to move this off just a smidge to WrestleMania and have whoever Dean Ambrose was fighting for the United States title, well, he lost the United States title there. And I was thinking of having the Whites go over, but now here's where hindsight gets me. But I'll talk about that more in the Undertaker's match. Just for a note, the New Age Outlaws did not make my card. I will talk about them briefly at another time during this video, but the Shield wins. Roman Reigns gets the pin on, let's say, Luke Harper, and they are still going to break up, so it didn't really matter. Hey, guys, remember, there's always a plan B. We already discussed, in this video, the Real Americans were not in the tag team match, and as you see, it was Dean Ambrose going for that dirty deeds, but then the lights go out and Bray Wyatt and the gang come down. As Dean looks distracted, he's blasted in the back by Swagger, and a gut wrench ends him. The Usos also retained the tag team titles against the Real Americans, and Jack Swagger injured Cesaro before he won the United States title. Cesaro came back with Paul Heyman in his corner, which was a thing that would be post WrestleMania, so that's hindsight, I guess. But we're bringing things up a little bit, not that. And with the advice of the wise man, Cesaro becomes the United States champion. And I would say that he would probably be the one to drop the Rusev eventually down the road. I'm not sure. I would love it if Brock would have dropped it. Brock and Cesaro had a match for the U.S. title, and Brock won the U.S. title. That'd be funny, but it's not realistic. And I'm kind of trying to keep this in reality. as we have 4 more matches on the card. Well, Cesaro's the United States champion, and that's our first title change of the night, I believe, because the Usos didn't lose their titles. But there is another title on the line that wasn't on the line at WrestleMania 30, so let's get into that one. It is now time for the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And I think I have 33 people where they had 31. So you look at this entire field, and like there might be some people. I don't know if there's a lot of people missing from this match, but let's talk about people that are now in this match. Barrett returned the next night, or Bad News Barrett, and Corey Graves is. I thought, I don't know if this is like hindsight, like they like to put NXT guys in here, but Corey would have been the NXT guy in here. The match mainly focuses on Alberto Del Rio, Bad News Barrett, Big E, Big Show, Corey Graves, Dolph Ziggler, Kane. By the way, Kane from the 6-man tag is now placed in here. If you really want the New Age Outlaws to be in here, you could have them in here. Kofi Kingston, Mark Henry, The Miz, Rey Mysterio, Sheamus are the ones focused in on. They're like, whatever, it's at the last 10 or something. Final 8. The final 4 is Alberto Del Rio, Wade Barrett, The Big Show, and. Oh, it's Kane. Is it? I think it is. I think Del Rio hit the Insigari, if I was recalling my little fantasy booking. And Corey Graves is able to eliminate Big E, who is the Intercontinental Champion, and he also loses the Intercontinental title. And I don't think I mentioned this. The Intercontinental title is on the line. Del Rio throws out Corey. Big Show and Kane double choke slam Del Rio over the top. They're trying to eliminate each other when Wade Barrett would toss them both over as they were teetering on the ropes. And Wade Barrett was going to win the title at Backlash anyway. So I get to see something different because I was at that Backlash. But even if it's Biggie challenging Bad News Barrett, the timeline doesn't change whatsoever. Wade Barrett's still gonna. If it's the year he got injured or whatever, whatever happened to Wade Barrett, well, Bad News Barrett, it's gonna happen still. So let's move on with the card. I did forget. I forgot to mention something earlier. And Wade Barrett, not Wade Barrett, excuse me, Bray Wyatt would have taken on John Cena on this card. I didn't mention that at that time. So John Cena's taking on the Undertaker. I just think this should have happened. I'm not sure if like we had the stars aligned for this, but I think like this would be the closest. Like he hits the AA, almost done. Super AA from the top rope, almost done. The streak, I mean. Like it looks like Undertaker's actually gonna tap out to the STFU, but he doesn't. And I don't think the streak ends here. I think John Cena comes the closest. I think this is a really good match. He comes the closest, but you can't see the streak ending. I think it's 22-0. And I also do think, in hindsight, and I've said this before, I know I haven't said this publicly before, but my friends know this. Roman Reigns should have been the one and only person to beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania. So The Undertaker wins. And then there was the match I forgot. When I was booking this card, I thought there were 7 matches on the card. So, yeah, clearly that wasn't the case. And clearly this match exists, and it's going down the same way. AJ Lee wins. It's the Battle Break match. Divas or the women's division will pick up later on, you know? Let's go to the main event. My original plan for this card was, what if Daniel Bryan won at WrestleMania? Excuse me, what if he won the Royal Rumble for a match at WrestleMania? I think this goes down the same exact way with Randy Orton tapping out instead of Batista. And WrestleMania continues until Daniel Bryan gets hurt. And that's, Brock Lesnar and everything. I hope you enjoyed this card. I don't know if I'm doing a lot more wrestling what ifs. We might have our Pokemon What If S, sponsored by Giovanni, replace this. I have an idea for a little thing for Yu-Gi-Oh! On Monday. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get that done. If I don't, well, What If Ash, sponsored Giovanni, is all ready to go. So thank you for joining me. And quickly, I'm just going to read off the winners again. Excuse me, my phone is lagging. 1 second. So this is a recap. we had the Usos retain their tag team titles in an elimination match against Los Matadores, Rybaxel, and Goldust and Stardust. We have Batista and Brock Lesnar, with Brock Lesnar beating Batista. We have the Shield defeating the Wyatt family in a six-man tag. We have Cesaro winning the United States title against Jack Swagger. We have Wade Barrett or Bad News Barrett defeating Piggy in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I'm not even sure if I mentioned that was the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, but whatever. To become the Intercontinental Champion, Undertaker goes 22-0 against John Cena. AJ Lee retains the Vicky Guerrero Invitational, and Daniel Bryan wins the WWE title and I guess the World Heavyweight title because they were unified at the time in the main event of WrestleMania. And all I have to say is yes, yes, yes. And thank you for joining me. And stay nice for disability rights. Stay nice for disability rights.